9:19, a little bit of change on this Thursday morning, the 17th day of July. And man, the fun starts tomorrow with the Alton Midwest Nationals. And Shelby Love in the studio today. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. You're going to be competing this weekend as well in the Formula Lights division of the tournament. And just right off the bat, how are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, the last two races I've won in the series, but I mean, obviously you're always nervous. So much can happen with these boats. I mean, just one thing breaks and all of a sudden you're down a race, you're down in points, you're starting further back. So it's just crazy. I mean, even the last two races, I started in 7th during the final and still made my way up. And it was just like a lot going on. So
wow. That's pretty impressive. Well, and now when did you get started in racing?
I got started when I was around 13. I started racing some of the smaller boats, and they're called the J Hydros. And I started those at these races as well. And it's a small class. There's a couple people. And, you know, it was just a great way to get started. It was super fun, something to do with my dad. And then eventually he's like, well, do you want to race a 45? And at first I was like, no, that's so scary. What do you mean? And then eventually I was like, actually, yeah, I do want to race. This sounds fun. So.
Well, and now your dad's also competing this weekend too. And what's it like, you know, being on, kind of this series with him in a different division, of course, but also just kind of sharing the journey too?
I mean, it's super fun. I feel like it's all about family for us, and it's super important for us to do it together. When we all drive out, it's super nice. Like, I had to drive a trailer by myself here, and so my 8-year-old sister came with me the whole ride in the car, and that was super fun because I got to spend time with her. But when we get here, it's a little different because we all have to focus on our individual classes and races. So it's like we all spend time together at the end of the day. But during the day, you know, you try to give each other space so we can all be in the right mindset to go out and race in our own classes.
And now what's that preparation look like? I'm sure that's starting now with the races starting Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, we just all have to get along and try not to argue more than anything. So for my dad, I think it's more stressful, though, because he sees me go out there and he gets nervous. And so then he has to calm back down before he goes out. And obviously, he's always last on the water because he's watching me race and then has to get in his boat. So I think it's more stressful for him to just get in the right mindset after being stressed out watching me race. So,
well, and now, you know, take me through your first couple of races in this division, and what was that experience like, kind of making that jump?
It was pretty rough. I mean, we bought a boat that he used to race, his dad built, so that was pretty cool.
Wow, that's super cool.
But stressful. So I raced one race and then went to the Nationals, was my second race, and I got in a wreck where someone's pickle fork, like the front of their boat, went through the back of mine and into my back. Like, it broke through the piece that was behind my back and like was pushing on my back. So to me, I was pretty scared, but like I kept going and I was like, things happen. So after that, I ended up getting a new boat, and so it was brand new to me. And it was hard because I was racing a boat that not very many people raced. My dad hasn't been in. So like before, he knew what the boat was like. And then after that one, it was like just a whole fresh start. No one knew what to expect. I had to learn, and also learn something that they didn't even know how to explain because they didn't have that experience, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, what's that learning process, look like? Did you just take it to, like, do you have a lake you go to or a body of water that you're out there in?
It's hard because he would have, if it was him, he would have definitely gone and tested and done whatever. But for me, he's like, I don't want you going out and testing without like safety teams and all this stuff.
Of course, right.
And that makes him nervous, which I get. That would make me nervous too. You hear stories. I think I went out and tested like once. Really, we just tried to go and test at races because it's the safest thing.
Wow.
I just started further back. I'd stay in the back. But I mean, obviously, when you're starting a new class, it's hard because you have a lot of spin outs, a lot of mistakes, and you're just like, oh, not again. But, you get over it, you keep learning, and it just gets better.
What's the biggest difference, in this category than, in the other ones?
They're pretty similar. Obviously, it's like a lot it's slower than the F1s.
Right.
Smaller, but, similar concept. You're doing the same kind of racing, but the tri-hulls are the most different because they're like little bumper boats. So those are super fun to watch. I try to keep convincing him to let me in one. He keeps saying no. I'll get him eventually.
I think it'll happen, Shelby. Well, I just think it's, all the focus that has to be out there whenever you're in the middle of a race because, this is, so much different, especially with how quick some of these turns are and everything else. Do you just kind of have to feel these things out when you're in the water? Because I'm sure that each body of water is different.
For sure. Like, for example, this last race, there was logs floating down the river. So you're sitting there waiting and you just see a tree float past you and you're like, please, when I'm racing, don't let me hit one of those.
Right.
Because my dad's had an experience too, where his whole gear case was like, there was a log on it and his whole boat went sideways and back up. And
wow.
It's just stressful because you're like trying to race, but you're also trying to watch out for those things. So you have to adapt everywhere you are. So it's an experience to try to learn the water and just figure out what you need to do to not wreck in one of the heats so you can make it to the final, really.
Well, and that's what I think is so fascinating and really is just so cool about this type of racing is, on other, in cars and in NASCAR and stuff, those tracks are, well maintained, you know, and they don't have to worry about natural, obstacles in there. Yeah. So it's just interesting how you have to adapt to it. Now, is there ever been a race where you're like, man, this is like perfect conditions, or is there always something to expect?
I feel like it's always different because there's so many different things that can happen. So, I mean, there's a couple races where like, this is nice, but I feel like no matter what, it's always so hot. There's always things to look out for. You're just focused on making sure whatever could happen doesn't, because along with the race site itself, there's so much stuff that can go wrong in the boat without you even knowing. Like, you could be on the dock ready to go to the final, all of a sudden something breaks and you have no idea what it is, and then you have to go figure it out. You have 5 minutes usually.
Oh, wow.
To figure it out if you're out there. So it's just stressful because even if it's something you wouldn't expect to happen on the water, it could happen on your boat or something else. So there's always something.
So it's honestly one of those things where you just kind of have to be calm, cool, and just figure out and keep moving forward.
Yeah. For sure. I feel like they made fun of me, but at first I would just sing every little thing. Oh. Because in the boat, you're all claustrophobic, and I was just like sitting there like waiting. I'm like, whoo, like, because I get like amped up. You get nervous because you're sitting for so long in the boat. And so I'm just like trying to sit, like, they would play the music into my capsule on their phone. Like, it was just funny. I would sing it in the radio. Like, they would make fun of me, but you just got to stay calm.
Well, 100%. Now, how fast does your boat get up to?
It depends. I mean, on the smaller courses, anywhere from like 63-ish to 70s. We don't hit 70s as often, but you get there.
That's incredible. I couldn't go 7 miles an hour.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, talk for a little bit more. The Midwest Nationals are this weekend. A lot of great races and a lot of different divisions out there, too. It's going to be fun for the whole family. The meet and greet's going to be tomorrow at Max. Are you guys going to be out there for that?
Yes, we'll be at the meet and greet, yeah.
That's really cool. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more of this conversation. You stay there. We'll be here on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
Rock history hits the riverfront as multi-platinum powerhouse Puddle of Mud takes the stage. Hear fan favorites like She Hates Me and Psycho. Plus brand new tracks from their latest album. Get your tickets now, on sale through Metro Tips. Puddle of Mud, August 2nd at the Alton Amphitheater. Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
This July, the fastest boats in the world take over the Mississippi. Catch the thrill of F1 powerboat racing July 18 to 20 at Riverfront Park in Alton, Illinois. Speed, rivals, champions. This is more than a race. It's the Midwest Nationals. Kicking off with the Meet and Greet Street Party July 18th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at Max and downtown Alton. Cold beer and live music. Alton Midwest Nationals F1 powerboat racing July 18th to the 20th. Don't miss the action.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Deep in the water somewhere, got the blue sky breeze, and it don't seem fair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy, never felt so high. And I think I might have found me my own kind of paradise.
Welcome back. 9:30, downtown Alton. Alton Midwest Nationals is this weekend, and you can find out more information by going to F1PowerboatChampionship.com. That's F1PowerboatChampionship.com. Back with Shelby Love, who will be in the Formula Light division. And, you winning the last two races. What are you looking to do this week? Are you looking for a three-peat? Do you think you got the momentum on your side?
It's stressful because it's like, no, you can't. But then it's like, I feel like I have a good chance. But, like I said, with so many things that could happen, it definitely still makes you nervous. But it's just all about staying calm and just, racing your race, trying not to, push it in a heat and then mess yourself up for the final. So it's just a lot going through my mind, just trying to stay calm and do what I got to do.
And now, how many times will your boat be in the water this weekend? So
there's qualifying and there's testing on Friday. And then on Saturday, there's 2 heats. And then on Sunday, I have a heat and a final. Mm-hmm. So a couple times. And it's the same with all the other classes. So they'll have the same amount of races, just at different times.
And now, has there been any bit of advice that your dad's given you, that's stuck with you the most, where it's like, it all clicks type of thing?
I feel like he has a hard time explaining it. He's definitely given me a lot of advice, and not anything that I could think of on the spot. Yeah. But at first he did my radios, and then I feel like he got too stressed out because he's like, I'm just trying to watch. Someone else needs to do this. I need to take a step back. So my crew guys, Todd Anderson, I feel like he's given me a lot of good advice as well, because he's been very helpful in telling me what to do and teaching me how to race, because I feel like my dad was more like, nope, stay safe, yep. Stay back. And he's been more helpful of being like, no, this is what you got to do. And we talk about it after each race, this is what you could have done. And I feel like that's helped me a lot, because at this last race, or in Port Neches when I won for the first time, it was kind of a back and forth. And he's been telling me don't dive in too soon, because then they know all this stuff. And I've always been too nervous. I play it safe. I go on the outside. And finally, so I was in the lead. There's a restart, and I got passed. And on the last lap, I dove in and was right next to him the whole back stretch, and finally made it around. And a lot of that was because of Todd, helping me and telling me what to do. So wow. I give a lot of thanks to him and my dad for both their help in different ways, but a lot of help.
Man, that's incredible. I mean, that's truly incredible. And now, as one of your goals is to win in overall points in 45, do you think you have a good shot at that this year? Or?
Yeah, like I said, it's another thing, just staying consistent. Yeah. Try to get points. All the points matter through all the heat. So just, like I said, don't mess yourself up. Finals are really important, but you just got to stay consistent. I mean, last year, I didn't win a single overall race, or for the weekend. I won a heat here and there, but I still got second overall just because I was consistent, went to every race, and podiumed a lot. But so you just have to be consistent and show up and keep going. That's why I think this is such a cool thing, because every race matters. It truly is one of those things. Yeah, one race or one heat could be the difference between being first in points and second. Now, whenever you're out there on the water, because you're going so fast, does everything slow down almost because of just being in that moment? Yeah, like I said, with being almost claustrophobic in there, you're sitting there waiting, you're all strapped in, and it's super close. You get nervous, at least for me, being in there. And then all of a sudden the race starts, and once you get through the start, it's just all you're just zoned in. I feel like you don't really think about anything else. You're just looking at the next thing every 2 seconds. And now take me through, what's the J Runabout Marathon? The marathon. So there's a thing in Topo, Michigan, and you're in one of those kneel down boats, and you're going through a marathon. I only did the J one, which is shorter, but the ones that do the bigger courses or classes, they go for 2 to 3 hours, and they're on their knees, bouncing around in a runabout, holding a throttle with their hand and holding a wheel with their other hand. So it's just exhausting. Wow. For me, it wasn't as bad because, like I said, I did the smaller course, but it was super fun. I recommend anyone who wants to race to go. Watching wise, it's hard because they go out and you don't see them for 2 hours. I remember going out and you just see people standing by their boats holding them because it's so rough. They get thrown out or something happens. It's super fun though. But I went, I think it was 2 years ago. I think it was in either 2022 or 2023. So maybe more than 2 years. But I went by myself with a couple friends, and they let me race something. And I went out there the first day and I ended up winning. And then the second day my dad flew out and surprised me and watched. And I ended up doing well the second day too and winning overall. So
wow, that's pretty cool. Well, and were you here last year competing? How'd it go for you last year?
I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure I got second last year, but it was just super fun. I remember I spun out one of the heats and was just standing there like, I blew it. And then I ended up getting second. It was super fun. My uncle, he came last year, which was super, he lives out here in Illinois. Cool. But I remember in Port Neches, I heard he passed away. And so this race is kind of also nerve wracking for me for that because he was supposed to come. And so I just want to make sure to do well and do well for him because he really last year was excited when I got second. So it means a lot to me to come back here and try again.
Absolutely. And before I let you go, is there anything about this course that makes it a little bit different? Just because I'm curious, because you being on the Mississippi type of thing. There's
definitely a lot more current, and that's why I spun out last time. Is you're going down the stretch, and all of a sudden you go to turn and it just whips you sometimes.
That makes sense.
So you just kind of have to account for that, and once you get used to it, it's not as bad. And the course here is usually a little different because you're on a narrower space, but it's super fun. I like this race a lot. So.
And now, what do you hope fans take away the most from this weekend?
I mean, I feel like they like the crashes. So it's like, it's hard. It's like you want to put on a show, but it's like, I don't want to crash for you guys to get excited. So just like I like to put on a show racing wise where you're not like blowing over or crashing, just like fighting back and forth because it's not as fun when everyone's just super far apart. So I hope it's a fun race and like a good race and a hard race for for someone to win more than anything.
Well, best of luck this weekend. I hope everything goes well and you go home with that first place after the second place last year. And really just for all of you guys that are interested for more information, F1PowerboatChampionship.com. That's F1PowerboatChampionship.com. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Dylan Anderson and talk a little bit more about this weekend. It's going to be a fun one. And I hope to see you guys downtown on the riverfront. And once again, Shelby, best of luck.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break. More Daily Show next.